everyone, welcome to Lex Talk, World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today we have Mr. S.K. Singhi with us, who is a founder and managing partner at S.K. Singhi & Co. Mr. Singhi completed his graduation from St. Xavier's College, company secretary course before attaining a Bachelor of Law degree. He also commenced his professional career at a prominent Kolkata-based corporate house in 1994, then got appointed as a company secretary, headed the group's capital market division, then got promoted in the organization to address legal matters. Thereafter, he rose to the head of group's legal division as well. Mr. Singhi has handled legal cases of varied complexity, helping catalyze the company's growth. He also kind of left the corporate house to launch an independent law firm in 2009 with the vision to emerge amidst the best law firms in India. Mr. Singhi possesses more than 25 years of rich corporate, commercial, and legal experience and is also an advisor to prominent corporate houses, MNCs, and HNIs. I don't even want to get started when it comes to his awards and achievements. But without any further ado, let me just introduce you to the man himself. Hello, Mr. Singhi. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you, Bharti, for a nice introduction. Always.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Mr. Singhi. We're really happy to have you on board with us today on this platform. And we're really excited to know about your journey as a legal professional. So how did it start for you?
Okay. So basically, when we started in 2009 as an independent law firm, after leaving the corporate house where I worked as a legal counsel for more than 15 years, the important and the landmark issue and the matter, which complex matter which I handled and which I would certainly like to mention, is the one where one of our client was setting up a joint venture manufacturing plant in India with the foreign government. And the matter went into disputes with the foreign partners, who was a foreign government. It's a sovereign government, actually. It's a friendly government to the government of country. And the matter could not be resolved. And ultimately, the issues went into the arbitration. But against its own high-handedness and showing the might of the power, the foreign country lodged criminal proceedings against our client in the foreign country without having any cause of action arising in that country. And to that effect, the Interpol and notices were issued. Now, the challenge before us was how to get these Interpol notices quashed without going into. So I started in 2009 as an independent law firm after leaving the corporate house where I headed the legal division for 15 years as a legal counsel. And when we started in 2009, headquartered in Calcutta with a staff strength of 2 people, today we are across the nation with offices in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Bhubaneswar, Gurgaon, and the associate distance ranging more than 60 plus across the country. We have our own IP setup where we are rendering specialized insolvency resolution services. And besides that, all the spectrum of the law we are catering to as a full service law firm. That's the journey within say 11-12 years, and we are at this stage. But yes, certainly we are looking for more, and yet we have to achieve a lot more visions that we set up for us when we started our law firm.
That is lovely, Mr. Singhi. At the same time, I would really like to know about one of the most complex issues that you might have handled, like the complex. If you're just able to describe the complexities of it and how did you supersede it, just an insight on a really complex.
The important complexity that one of the matters which I always highlight and would like to highlight here is that when we were working for one of the matters of one of our clients who had disputes and differences with their joint venture partner, which is a foreign national, foreign country. Now fighting against a foreign country and with the bilateral issues coming between the two countries is really a challenging task. And here the issue involved was that in spite of having no cause of action arising in the foreign country, except to the extent that the foreign government was a joint venture partner. The foreign government lodged a criminal proceedings against our client in their own country just to pressurize and bring them to negotiating table or to their terms, whatever they like. And the important Interpol notices were issued, red corner notices were issued against our client. The entire movement of the client was stopped. The business was likely to be at the corner of brink because of the restrictions in movement. And of course, the fundamental rights were completely extinguished. So that issue we challenged before the Supreme Court of India. And at the same time, the movement of the people was to be freed again, for which we had went to the Interpol headquarters in France. Sitting in the country, we filed the proceedings out of our own research. Our team worked day and night as to how to get this thing done. And ultimately, the two-pronged challenge, one before the France headquarters of Interpol and other one before our own Supreme Court of India, where the issue, major issue involved is whether our own country can at all remit or do anything on the basis of these Interpol notices issued, compromising its own sovereignty. That's the basic challenge which is still pending before the court in our Supreme Court. However, our client has already received the interim protection, both from the Supreme Court as well as from the Interpol headquarters at the France. That is the most challenging and the complex matter which I handle, and I always, amongst others, whatever we did.
Thank you so much, Mr. Singhi. Quite complex as a matter of
Yes,
course.
that's right.
Now, like I'm one thing that I really want to ask you, because it's related to the pandemic and technology and like everything combined. And we are in this era right now. We are in this time where we're facing a lot of difficulties, but at the same time, things have gotten really convenient for us. So how do you see this? At the same time, my follow-up question to you would be, and it's kind of related to something that I've asked, that the pandemic has seen a lot of courts, moving towards more remote proceedings. What are your views? Like, is this sustainable and like a possible way to increase the access to justice?
Well, it's really a new thing altogether. Nobody ever expected this thing to emerge so fast and grow, and acceptability are so fast. Yes, I certainly believe it is sustainable and possible because the justice really can be increased by sitting at the comfort of your office. You can have a wide and greater access to the world across, whether it is tribunals, whether it is courts and all. But then certainly it has its own challenges also. You need to have better infrastructure. You need to have high frequency Wi-Fi network. Then the training of the stakeholders involved to adapt to the technological changes. And last but not the least, the mindset of the people to adapt to the new technology. These are the big challenges which really require it. But in my opinion, it is really sustainable.
And when we're actually talking about the access to justice, how would you rate the current legal system drive towards encouraging the access to justice? Is there like a tangible movement in closing the justice gap that is going on?
Well, government and courts both have launched the tangible movement for assessing justice at a larger scale. However, we have still a long way to go. There still exists a lot of gap. It has to be a consistent effort over the years before we really say that it has given results. But of course, the efforts are there and the movement has started.
Lovely. And when we are actually talking about technology and pandemic and whatnot, so now in this new era of legal technology, what do you think are like the mostly common use tools for you and for your firm?
The most important softwares we are using to manage the time value for the client as well as for us in this era are really the video conferencing software. Like presently also you and me are sitting across various continents and discussing and doing. That's a marvelous new era technological advancement only which otherwise we could have never thought it. So we are using a lot of softwares like video conferencing softwares, the real-time billing and time tracking softwares, the merging software, billing softwares, data entry softwares and all, that kind of things we are using. That is how the things are moving.
Thank you. Thank you so much for answering that question, Mr. Singhi. Sadly, we are coming to an end of this amazing conversation. But before I let you go, you have more than 25 years of experience in the legal space. And when we talk about time, of course, time is money in any profession, but in legal, it's most of all. How do you ensure that you make the most, like the best of your time as a lawyer?
Yes, we understand the
How do you
value of
manage
time.
it also? I mean,
Yeah.
like, my main question is how do you manage the
No,
time and people, right?
no, it's not very difficult when you fall into the profession. Then of course you have to manage the things, and then it becomes a routine affair. Initially, it really has troublesome, but then you see the moment we saw these things happening, we quickly moved our system from manual to the digitalization across all stages and across all levels in our organization. Today, we are using most of the technological advanced system in our organization, whereby meetings are held online. The electronic mode is used for conferencing. The filings are done on electronic mode. And most of the hearings, either in mode or in hybrid mode, we are doing it. And that is how we manage our timings better, whether it is manual or whether it is electronic or time value. But of course, the time is very important, and that is how we have to change ourselves, and we have really changed it accordingly. Not only we at this level, but at the down level from the start till the top level in the organization, everyone has adopted to the new system, and they are all managing well to their time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, you also mean to say that adapting to the time and the changes along the way is the most important thing.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Singhi. It was a lovely conversation with you, and it was a pleasure having you with us today. I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you again on some other trending topics in the legal space sometime soon. Till then, please take care of yourself, and thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. And for our viewers, if you like this chat with Mr. Singhi, please like and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel that we have to kind of appreciate what we do, and you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Mr. Singhi. This is Bharti for Lex Talk signing off. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.